Hello, welcome back to the Draw Fair Green podcast. And we have the same winners that we've had a couple times this year in the game of golf. Hannah Green knows nothing but winning golf tournaments in 2026. It is an absolute crazy run she is on right now.
Yeah, Hannah Green is probably without a doubt. She is the best player in women's golf right now. I'm sorry, Nelly Korda, no disrespect, but Hannah Green has won 4 times this season in 2 months on 2 different tours. She won at the HSBC Women's World Championship on the LPGA Tour beginning of March. Then she won 2 events in Australia, and then she's won this past week on the LPGA Tour. And Hannah Green is just she's been on fire and unbeatable. And the run she went on the back nine on Sunday to win the golf tournament. She made, I think, 4 birdies or in 5 holes or 5 birdies in 6 holes, something crazy like that to kind of start her back nine and then make her way into the playoff where she won on the first hole was very impressive. And Hannah Green is is she's the best player in women's golf right now. Sorry.
No, there's no debate. I mean, yes, we obviously know the Genos and the Nellies, but you win four times in the matter of 2 months, yeah, you're the best player for that time and for the foreseeable future. I mean, like you mentioned, she goes 5 birdies on the back nine to force a playoff. I mean, it's however easy or however hard that course is to shoot 5 birdies on a nine in a 9 hole span is just top notch golf. And then I mean, that's the hard part, I guess, but then you also have to beat two other women in a playoff, which she does. I
Mhm.
mean, just because she gets to the playoff doesn't mean she deserves to win. And she wins on the first playoff hole with yet another birdie.
Yeah, she made
And
an
it's her
impressive
third
putt.
third win here at the JM Eagle LA Championship. So she likes playing in LA, clearly. She also likes playing in the early months of the season, apparently, because all she does is win. I mean, she gets her second career playoff victory, so that's good. Again, I, I don't think you can say the other two collapsed because it's just kind of what we saw on the PGA Tour early in the year that they played good. They just someone played better than them and chased them down, and it just so happened to be someone who's been on fire the last 2 months.
Yeah, I bet when those other two girls, then they looked on the leaderboard after the front nine and they saw Hannah Green down there, she shot one over on the front nine. They were like, wow, we don't have to deal with Hannah Green this week. But, they were very incorrect and she comes surging right back up. And then once she gets in the playoff, I mean, it's got to be in the back of your mind that this is one of probably the best player in the world and you got to go against her, sudden death playoff. And she makes birdie, as you mentioned. And it's so impressive, and I think I talked about it before, but last season she wasn't playing very well towards the end of the year, August, September, and she goes puts a new putter in the bag. I don't know if this is the same one, and she goes and breaks down her swing with her coach, and then she gets momentum, and now here she is in March and April, and she's won 4 events.
Yeah, I mean, even when she isn't winning, I'm looking at her results now. She's made four cuts, and in three of them, she's won two of them, obviously, and then the other one, she has a top 10 finish. So it's not like her bad weeks aren't even that bad. And this is the thing we talked about Scotty for the long time and Nelly and Gino is like, sure, like they may not win every week, but when they're not winning, they're still finishing the top 10. I mean, it's shocking she's only up to eighth in the Rolex rankings, but I guess two of those wins being ladies European Tour wins. I don't know how that really affects those Rolex rankings at all. But heading into the first major this weekend, she probably isn't the betting favorite just because of who Nelly and Gino are. But she's got to be realistically, if we were listing, making a power ranking, she'd be number one on my list.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get into it later on my takes on the major championship this weekend, but yeah, Hannah Green definitely one of the players to watch this weekend, and I'll get more into that. I have some opinions on that.
Yeah, we'll talk about it here after the this last PJ Tour start, which also went into the playoff, also saw a repeat champion of this event, and now a multiple time winner this year on the PGA Tour. Matt Fitzpatrick, who moves all the way up to number three in the official World Golf Rankings with an absolute just a great round on the back nine. Again, he didn't really lose it. Scotty just chased him. I mean, he hit a bad shot on 18 in the chip, but that 4 iron he hit on the playoff, I mean, I don't know if you saw it or were watching the
Wow.
tournament at all.
That
I
was
was watching
insane.
all day. No one was hitting that green. They absolute treacherous pin placement by the greenskeeper,
You just bail
whoever.
out right. Like,
I mean, front left with the wind coming off the left, off the water there. Not many people. I think I saw something like 30% of the field hit the green in regulation, and we saw Gary Woodland hole out from like 200 yards. But with a 4 iron to hit that shot, to hit it to I think it was 13 feet after making a bogey to effectively almost lose the tournament. I mean, Matt Fitzpatrick is again, we can just like Hannah Green, like he's probably not the best player in the world right now, but he's that number three ranking is up for grabs, and it's got to be him or Cameron Young at this point.
yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, Cameron Young and Matthew Fitzpatrick, they've been playing very well this season. They've had their chances. Cameron Young won the Players. Matthew Fitzpatrick has won twice. Cameron Young in contention at the Masters. So that number three spot, you'd think that maybe Tommy Fleetwood might give it a charge this season, and Xander Schauffele, another couple of those guys. But right now, it's been those two guys, and it's been very entertaining to watch. Scotty Scheffler did what he does best. He just kind of hangs around, and then he just kind of makes his coast slowly inches his way back up, and then or when he's not winning the tournament by 5 shots like he sometimes like he usually is when he's in that position, he hung around, and Fitzpatrick messed up on the 18th hole, left himself with a long putt after a poor chip, and then just on the playoff hole you see the difference. Fitzpatrick hits it to 11 feet, and Scotty hits probably one of the worst shots I've seen him
He
hit.
had
Like
20 yards. He was
he
20 yards closer, if
he
not more.
not only
And
I mean, I'm sure it was a miss hit, but he flares it to the right. He's on the fairway, but he's got a 30-yard pitch shot over the bunker when Fitzpatrick is 11 feet. Like, granted, Scotty hit a great shot. He's in 8 feet for par, so really nice shot. But
yeah,
Scotty said at the end of the round, like, kind of. I mean, it's an excellent hole by Fitzpatrick. Not many guys are going to compete with that kind of shot. And at the end of the
no.
day, he played better, and that he deserves to win. He played excellent all week. So
Yeah, I mean there's so much. I mean him winning there for the second time, him growing up and going there as a kid from England, like this was the family vacation spot. He said when he won in 2023, this is like the one tournament he cared to win the most outside of a major, and now he has two. And really, I mean, we got to talk about kind of his journey from where he was last year. Last year after this event, he was ranked 79th in the world, and it was like is he going to make the Ryder Cup team? And around kind of July, he goes like three straight top tens, with one of them being at the Open Championship, and he gets playing well. He wins the DP World Tour Championship in a playoff, defeating Rory McIlroy. So in the last, we'll say 6 months, he's defeated Scotty and Rory in playoffs to win events. Also was really good at the Ryder Cup. Finally
hmm
earned his first points. Was one of Europe's better players, and
hmm
then he lost to Cameron Young at the Players Championship. Followed that up with a win, and now he had a good showing at the Masters. Like again, not the
yeah,
worst. And then comes here, and I mean, honestly, I thought he was going to run away with it, and then he just made a whole bunch of pars on the back nine, and Scotty kind of just did what Scotty did. But yeah, it's a shocking year turnaround for Matt Fitzpatrick, who I think is who's one of the best golfers in the world, clearly. And I don't know if it was Trevor Immelman or maybe it was Shane Bacon in one of the post interview or post round TV shows I was watching. And they go, the scary part about this with Fitz is that he's having his worst putting year of his career on the PGA Tour right now. Like he's usually a good putter, and they go, he's not even an average putter right now. Like, how wild is that? I mean, he's won
that's crazy.
two good events and competed in the players and isn't doesn't really have his A game, they're saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very scary statistic for the rest of the tour. And I'm gonna be honest, I've slept on Matthew Fitzpatrick Probably his entire career, I've been sleeping, Even though he's won a major championship, he won the U.S. Open at the Country Club, which was very, very difficult course. Him and Will's outdoors, and it's crazy. But dude, that was aside from that. But I've been sleeping on Matthew Patrick. I think I thought he was thought keyword being thought he was a little overrated, but right now, you have my attention, Matthews Patrick. You've grabbed it, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here. Big things ahead. You got three majors left in the tour season. Maybe it's a little early to maybe no, maybe it's a little early to start talking about that, but it's not out of the question with the level of golf he's playing right now.
Yeah, I mean, it will be tough for him to compete, and I think Aronimink would be hard just because of the distance, but he also doesn't hit it a short way. And again, if he hits 4 irons like he did in that playoff hole, I mean, he'll be completely fine with whatever. And yeah, I want to talk about Scotty real quick. And right, for all this nonsense of, oh, what's happened to Scotty? What's happened to Scotty? He's finished runner up the last two events, and realistically had a shot to win this tournament, and he just finishes one stroke back. And again, it was the same with the Masters. It's one stroke. And this week he didn't really like right in all of his starts where he's kind of not finished well. He's had one round that really stuck out of like if he just plays average that round, he wins. Like last week at the Masters, he shoots 74 on Friday. Took him kind of out of the tournament. If he shoots an even par round, he wins the tournament, or he shoots one or two under, he wins by three. This week he didn't really have one that stuck out. He was for the most part Scotty Scheffler all week. It's just his worst shot came on the playoff hole, and Fitzpatrick's best shot came at the playoff hole. And the USA chants, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't think
I
I
love it.
understand it. Fitz comments were perfect at the end. I don't know if you saw this in the press. He goes, "The Americans, I love how patriotic they are, but they must have a short-term memory loss because we won here in October." And I mean, just talk about shutting the fans up. Like, sure, rub it in. Why not? Like, but again, I didn't really understand the chance of USA, but again, I'm sure
I
there's
love it. I love it.
some
Even though we did lose in the Ryder Cup, we referring to America, of course. Um, we're not giving up. We're gonna give it to Matthew Fitzpatrick and the rest of the European Ryder Cup team because we're gonna get them back in Ireland in a year and a half or yeah in the year and a half now. So we'll get them back. And in regards to Scotty Scheffler. I'm gonna be honest, I was a little worried about him because he wasn't the golfing robot that I know him to be, that I expect him to be. I'm not worried anymore. Back to back runner ups. I'm sure there's a win coming in the next few weeks. It's very very predictable Scotty Scheffler win because he's found his game again. It's only a matter of time. He's that good, and yeah, it's good. It's a good thing for Scotty Scheffler because, the major season played well at Augusta and he has going for the career Grand Slam at the US Open coming
he'll be
up.
the favorite there. I don't think he'll be the favorite down at Aronimink for the PGA. I think Cam Young will be, but I think Scotty will be the favorite. I think it's Shinnecock this year. And over at the Open, I'd probably go with Rory as the favorite right now, but he's again, they have another signature event in 2 weeks down in Miami at Trump Doral. It's a tough golf course from what I know, and he plays tough golf course as well. So I mean, again, if he won in 2 weeks, wouldn't be shocking.
No, not at all.
I mean, before the PGA Tour heads to Miami, they head to New Orleans for one of the more fun events of the year, the Zurich Classic, and it is the only team format event on the PGA Tour schedule. So teams of two, they play best ball 2 of the rounds, and then foursomes 2 of the other days. And the defending champs, Andrew Novak, Ben Griffin, they're paired up again. The one shocking pairing that I saw that I was like, oh, that's interesting. Shane Lowry and Brooks Koepka are a
I
pair.
saw that
So
too.
so
Yeah.
Rory, who played in it the last 2 years, they won 2 years ago, him and Lowry. They played last year. I think they finished T12.
Does Rory play on
No
tour
Rory.
anymore?
Yeah, no Rory. And so Shane and Brooks, which I know they're both Florida guys and from that area. And so that makes sense. But again, it's a fun golf tournament to watch. It's some golfers you probably have never heard of, but also some big ones. Again, Shane Lowry and Brooks Koepka are probably the favorites. I don't know. I haven't looked at any of the betting sites and any of that. I would say they're the favorites or Novak and Griffin, who are defending champs. But again, it's a fun. I like the team golf aspect one time a year and kind of gets me excited for the President's Cup and Ryder Cup whenever that is.
Yeah, Zurich Classic. It's kind of just one of these fun ones. They still, from what I saw, they still award points and obviously money involved in the
Yeah.
tournaments. They are playing for something, which is which is nice. But the team event kind of I don't know if it does it for me, but still a fun event overall. I do have a pick for this week actually. I don't know if people care if I have a pick, but I'm still gonna give my pick.
Yeah, I
Um,
want to hear it.
so I am actually going to go with two guys who've played very well this season and kind of underdogs here and seemingly look like fan favorites. So we got Ryan Gerard and Sudarshan Yelamaraju.
Okay.
Uh, Give me those guys. The team golf events, I feel like it's one of these things that you never know what is going to happen because there's two guys. It's not one of these like you saw Scotty Scheffler played in the Ryder Cup. That's completely different circumstances. However, things happen in team golf. So we'll go with those two guys just because they seem really fun. Um, Big YouTube golfer guys.
Yeah, I this one's tough because I'm looking at it and a lot of the pairings, one player is playing really good right now and one's not. And so that's tough because when you play alternate shot, like that's a lot on a partner if you're not doing it. I was tempted to go with Matt Fitzpatrick and Alex Fitzpatrick. Alex won on the DP World Tour like 3 weeks ago, and Matt is, like we said, the one of the best players in the world. I'm going with some young guns though. Michael Brennan and Johnny Kiefer. So Johnny Kiefer was the Korn Ferry Tour Rookie and Player of the Year last year. He's played well in his first year on the PGA Tour. Michael Brennan won, was it the Utah Championship event, and he's been okay since winning that. But Brennan hits it a long way, and at a course that is very scoreable, I think that's going to help. And I don't know, there's something about kind of young guys going at it and for fun, and I don't know, expect them to play well, and they're going to be my pick again. Will they win? Probably not. I picked Russell Henley last week and he didn't finish well. So,
Hey,
but I
Wyndham
like
Clark
the
was like top
idea.
20.
Yeah,
There's that. We didn't wasn't the winner. We don't pick the
no.
winners,
But so my
but
picks, Johnny Kiefer, Michael Brennan. Over on the DP World Tour, we have the Volvo China Open down over in China. Again, not the best field for the DP World Tour. I was actually looking, and a lot of their guys are playing in this PGA Tour event because people need a partner. So you got some like Casey Jarvis, who's won 2 times on the DP World Tour. He's playing in the Zurich Classic this week.
Mhm.
No Patrick Reed. None of the live guys are in this event. They're probably still in Mexico and Virginia. I mean, that's a whole another story we can talk about live in a sec if we want. But again, last year's winner, Ashton Wu, he's in the field. He's looking for his third title here in China. Chinese golfer playing in his home country always has some good mojo, like we say. I'm gonna go with Eugenio Chichara, former live golfer. He's won on the GP World Tour. He's a really good young golfer. He's from Spain, and they just seem to produce really good golfers all the time. He's played well here to start the year. He did blow a lead like a month and a half ago. He was up four and then kind of threw up all over himself. So I'm a little worried in that aspect. But Eugenio Chichara is my pick this week on the DP World Tour.
yeah. So for my pick this week, I'm gonna preface this by saying I don't know much about DP World Tour, so not that I not that my PGA picks and LPGA picks have been spot on, but I'm gonna go with guy that's won 3 times on the DP World Tour, Scottish. We got Ewan Ferguson. Uh, yeah, he's 3 DP World Tour wins. His name sounds like Evan Ferguson, Irish striker. So I like that. I thought that was fun. So we'll go with him.
And the big one of this week is the LPGA Tour's first major. All excited about that. The Chevron Championship down at Memorial Park Golf Course in Houston that hosted a PGA Tour event a month ago. So that will be very interesting to see how the women play it compared to the men. But again, with the first major on hand, the best players in the world, all 25 of the top 25 in the Rolex rankings are in the field. You got all the winners from LPGA Tour events in the field this week, and you have 11 defending champs of the Chevron Championship in the field as well. So again, it's always a fun week when it's a major week.
Oh yeah, major week, first major of the season for the LPGA Tour. It's the Chevron Championship, so in my opinion, no offense, probably the worst major of the five on the LPGA Tour. That, however, I'm gonna say I'm not saying it's bad. But it's gonna be a great tournament to watch. Um, Mao Sego won last year. It was her first LPGA Tour win and first major win, so a bit of a surprise there. A couple surprising major winners on the LPGA Tour last season. So in my personal opinion, there are only three players to pick from this week. I'm sorry, but it's going to either be Hannah Green, Nelly Korda, or Yeoju Kim, the hottest players in the world. You've got four wins in Hannah Green. Yeoju Kim won back to back. Nelly Korda has one and has two or three runners up. I don't see anyone else. I don't see anyone else winning. I'm sorry, Gino. You prove me wrong. It's going to be one of those three, and my pick out of those three is going to be Hannah Green. Uh, Although I would be surprised if the other two won, as I mentioned, but I think Hannah Green has just been playing on another level this season. Lights out, and good luck to anyone else in the field against those three and Hannah Green.
How good is it for the game of women's golf right now that you said there are three winners or three like really top of the notch players in this event, and you didn't even name the world number one. You're like,
Right?
nope, forget her. She's
Like,
again, and she
no
did,
disrespect. She's a great player,
yes,
and one of the
and
best in the world, but
yes, and she's won. She's won this year. But again, like you said, Nelly has been really good to start. Hi Joe Kim to win back to back, and we've already talked about Hannah Green a bunch on this show, and yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. It like you said, the Chevron Championship again. I don't. I'm very curious to see how they make this course a major tournament. And again, obviously they're gonna play differently than the men because they're not hitting it as far and all that. But still, just like the rough and how fast the greens are. And obviously, it's now a month later than when the men were playing it. So I'm sure they can grow out the rough more and they can dry out the greens more and all that stuff to really test these women, which I think will be fun to see. With that being said, you're probably not wrong with those three. It's really hard not to pick Gino, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna go with Nelly Korda, who won this event in 2024. I just think she's played really well. She's rested, and there's something about getting that another major title under your belt. And we can talk about Scotty and Rory and all those people who like once you have one, you want more. And for her to not win any last year, I think the way she's playing, and I think this is a good golf course for her as well. I don't think it's gonna be too like as she hits it long enough where I think she'll be good compared to maybe some of the other women. But yeah, I think Nelly Korda will get her second career Chevron championship this weekend.
would not surprise me if she won. She's been on another level this season, so she's hungry.
I mean, we have to touch on the Live news real quick. We won't spend much time on it, but the rumors are Live is shutting down. It was just cut right to the chase, and the rumors from Golf Digest, Golf Channel, all different writers is that the Saudi PIF is not going to fund it anymore come the end of the year. And how are they going to back this whole league without that money? Who knows? And then in their champ or in their tournament this week down in Mexico City, their broadcast goes haywire for 3.5 hours because I guess there's a major power outage in Mexico City and that caused their broadcast to just shut off for 3.5 hours. Again, I don't know what the path is for any of these live golfers to get back on the PGA Tour or even the DP World Tour with paying all those fines. But if it were to be the last year, I mean, what a disappointment. I don't really know what else to say about it. It's like you talked all this talk and now you're gonna be done after less than 5 years, and it's just like what was the point? I guess it made the PGA Tour better. I guess from where the PGA Tour was 4 years ago when they started it all compared to now, the PGA Tour is better. But like, what did that do for the people involved in Live and all these players in Live other than give them massive checks in their pockets?
Yeah, yeah, as you mentioned, it would be a massive disappointment for Live Golf to shut down. That being said, I don't know if I necessarily believe the rumors that are going on. I would love, yeah, heck, I'm not the biggest Live guy if you know me, but I just don't see something like this shutting down just like that, just out of kind of nowhere. I mean, maybe not out of nowhere because they've been kind of losing traction recently with some of the players, Koepka and Patrick Reed. But I don't know if I see this happening with all the money invested, all the things they've done, and for them to shut down just like that, I don't know if I necessarily, believe the rumors. But I guess, like many things, we'll just have to see what happens because, I'm certainly interested, and that's pretty much all I have to say. Is just,
Yeah,
well, I guess we'll
I
just
don't.
see.
Yeah, I think you're right. Is I don't think like we'll get a statement tomorrow or this week saying Liv is done for the year. I think they'll finish the year and then maybe something will come out of it. But again, that's all I really have. Again, like you said, I don't really care about Liv. I don't. I miss some of the golfers there, but I really don't miss a lot of them. Like I don't need to see Jackson Kokrak or Jason Kokrak or whatever his name is on the PGA Tour. I mean, I liked watching Joaquin Niemann and Abe Ancer and John Rahm, but like I didn't care for Mark Leishman or Cam Smith or I mean they do have some good young players that would be nice to see play golf and David Puig and Elvis Smiley and some of these other Tom McKibben from Ireland like those are always fun to see, but as far as some of the PGA Tour veteran players, like I don't need to see Luke Donald and Graham McDowell and Lee Westwood play any more PGA Tour events. Sorry,
Yeah, I'm good.
I just don't.
No, Kevin Nods and Ian Poulter don't move the needle anymore.
No, and that's the thing is like they hitch their way into fading PGA Tour stars in hopes to I don't even know, like get a fan base and just it didn't really work. I mean, yeah, they landed Rahm and DeChambeau and Smith and you can
DJ.
say DJ, but it just I don't know. It didn't do it for me at all. And maybe it did it for some people, but it's not for me. We do have a little bit of sad news here from the PGA Tour. They announced today, we're recording this Monday, so this literally happened about 2 or 3 hours before we started recording this, that the PGA Tour is no longer going to Hawaii. So the Century Tournament champions and its Sony Open will not be on the PGA Tour schedule next year, which is a bummer. This year they didn't have the Century Tournament champions just because of the golf course, which then come to find out it was fine to play, but who knows. Again, they had the Sony. I really enjoyed both the tournaments. I think they were fun to watch. Kapalua was always a cool golf course to watch, and the Sony Open golf course was like again, and it's sad to see some longtime PJ Tour events go, especially in Hawaii. I thought it was always cool for them to start in Hawaii and just it's January 1st or January 6th or whatever it is, and I'm here in New York and they're playing in Hawaii. I just was like, you know what, this is fun for me, even though I can't do it. So that was a little bit of sad news on the PJ Tour today.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss the Century. I know. I'm always excited for the first week of golf of the season and the Century. You've got, a beautiful course, the beautiful views. You get the ocean. They're always showing the whales in the ocean and a beautiful course, guys from making birdies. Like it's just a fun, good vibes tournament. I know. And I know the players, I know some players might not miss it too much just because the traveling to Hawaii and it's not the easiest. And however, the guys with the money, with take someone with you and have a good time on the beach in Hawaii in January, and play some golf too. But yeah, I mean, I'm not really that surprised, after the last couple of years, especially in the fires, and them
Yeah.
playing one event this year. Not really too surprised by it, but I am gonna miss it. It's interesting. It'll be interesting what they do. I think they might be doing some more California tournaments, which
Yeah, they
I
want
don't
to
know
start
if
big
I
on the West Coast.
which I just don't really care as much. Sorry, but I don't really need to see any more of those tournaments leading up to, like,
I mean,
you
if
can
they
only play
play
Torrey
some
Pines.
interesting golf
You,
courses,
you can
like
only play
maybe,
Torrey Pines so much. Play like
yeah,
Cypress Point, right? It's crazy, but like play
like I
some
mean,
other like
was
fun
it like
stuff.
Olympic Club out there, or where did Spieth win his U.S. Open in 2016 or whatever? It's up in Washington, where
Yeah,
Chambers Bay, like
Yeah.
sure, if you go up there, like, yeah, but yeah, like you said, Torrey Pines is great. I don't need to see it every year. I don't need to see, I don't like, I like
Another
Riviera.
Arizona course. Like,
Yeah,
sorry.
so I don't know. Again, like go to I'm sure there are cool golf courses in Denver or somewhere in Washington, and I don't know. I guess there are talks that the Sony Open will maybe turn into a PGA Tour Champions event, so it wouldn't go completely gone. It would still hold a Champions event, which still cool. It's still good for the state of Hawaii, but it's not the same as hosting a PGA Tour event.
Yeah. I don't the, the PGA Tour Champions. I can't say I've ever watched an event on television. No
Hey,
disrespect,
Stuart
but
Sink, PGA Senior Championship winner this week.
I know
Absolutely lit the
I
fields.
actually
I think he shot 63 on Sunday to win his first major on the senior tour. So
yeah I
don't
noticed
hate
and
on the senior tour.
I did not watch a single minute of that. I'm
No,
sorry.
neither did
So
I. But it just
okay,
it, it's
for
it's
me
funny. It's
for
like
me.
Stuart Sink was literally won the RBC Heritage I think the year before Fitzpatrick did. So I think he won in 2022, and now 4 years later he's on the seniors tour. So it's funny. But again, yeah, PJ Tour tough. But again, this week all the news is about the Chevron Championship, the first major of the year. Again, I'm excited to see the expanded coverage and see what they have for that. That'll be interesting to see uh, what they do for the women's first major of the year and how they broadcast it a little better than normal and all the kind of creative, fun video packages they do leading into and after rounds. We will see you next week again. Go subscribe to us on YouTube. Go follow us on Instagram. We'll be back. We'll recap the first major of the year. Are you doing recaps every day of the major? Do you know yet, or have you not figured that out?
Uh, there will not be any daily recaps, unfortunately, but just the preview and the recap. So stay tuned for that. And then obviously stay tuned for Nathan's recaps of the DP World Tour and the PGA Tour this week.
Yeah, again, just go check us out. Go read, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll be back here next week and we'll recap the first major of the year and the other events around the world and enjoy the women's major this week.